Deep sleep.
So one
There's
second.
no idea.
Yeah, Venkatesh, one second. Let Ashutosh ask. Just let's. Somebody told me because we are recording these classes and some people are listening to the audio. So they are. They told me that to request everybody to talk one at a time, So I was about to ask Ashutosh to talk because he raised his hand. So yeah, Venkatesh, will come back to you. Go ahead, Ashutosh.
So is upadhi necessarily negative? Because I think you mentioned it as a very generic term, qualities, etc. But it seems that like when you apply avidya to atma, you get the jiva, right? So that's how you like gave an example. But is there an example where it could be positive as well, or is this like I was thinking avatara of like So is that a possibility or?
Yeah. So here's the question: is the flower negative to the paperweight or positive?
Neither.
Okay. So that is one question we can ask. Yeah, upadhi, avatara is upadhi. We say that Vivekananda special upadhi, vishesha upadhi. We literally, this is what we say in Sanskrit language. We say vishesha upadhi means all of us are upadhis, right? We all have the Sura Shariram as an upadhi, and we all have certain uniqueness, our own history, our own journey is there. All of that is an upadhi. And so we say Vivekananda, special upadhi that India had the benefit of, like that we will say. So yeah, if you look at the quality of that is given by the upadhi, yeah, that quality, if you start labeling that quality as beneficial, not beneficial, then I suppose that is your question, right?
Yeah.
Can negative, when you said, I presume you mean desirable, not desirable, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Because otherwise there is no negative. Unless I come and label something, there is everything is there. This what do you call this thing that is rotting outside is giving out some odor, okay?
Correct.
And that's the nature of that rotting stuff. But I say it stinks. So stinking smell and all, I label it. So until I label, everything is there, correct? And then we can say, okay, desirable, not desirable. And yeah, that is correct. So the minute we say upadhi, the upadhi is going to have some attributes. The sharira is going to go through a certain process and create certain experiences for the jiva. And the experiences can be desirable, not desirable.
Okay. So I ask this question because I mean Atma has no qualities. It is the purest being in a way, right? It is the pure version. So if you are adding some attributes, you're becoming a jiva, and then like I think your ultimate aim is like again sort of achieving that formlessness, right? I mean, if you think about the liberation and without thinking, you want to achieve that moksha in a way. So I thought that it is because you are adding something to something which is pure, and then you are getting something else. So it's kind of generally.
Yeah. So therefore adding. So that adding part is what we need to carefully understand.
Mm.
So have I added red color to the paperweight? Good question to ask. I don't claim that the answer is straightforward. Have I added red color to the paperweight?
No.
First question. Second question, is it possible to add anything to the paperweight?
Mm.
Okay. Not possible. Therefore, here also, the Upadhi cannot touch Atma. Atma cannot be sullied, impure, made impure by anything. Because there is no second thing. There is really no second thing. In order for something to get impure, there must be an impurity which can mix with this so-called pure thing. And the pure thing has become impure. Correct? So we have to be careful to see that the Upadhi is not a second thing, really speaking. Really speaking, it's not a second thing. They use another word for it. They use a word called conditioning adjunct. An apparently conditioning adjunct. Okay. So the wave is the Upadhi for water. The wave, the wave is the Upadhi for water. Because water really is colorless and shapeless. And when I give it a shape and I give it some attributes, and the wave, it is this shape and it is moving at this speed, all these things, if I say, then I am talking about an Upadhi. Really, that Upadhi is what apparently gives those attributes to water. But water does not have those attributes. That's why when the wave goes away, the water can remain water. And water continues to remain water all the time. It has no attributes.
Okay.
Upadhi comes and goes. Upadhi comes and goes. Like the waveness comes and goes. Upadhi comes and goes. And I do not want to take the Upadhi as Satyam. So I should take this body as Mithya, not Satyam. That is so we have to recall some of our past discussions and say the body is Mithya, like the wave is Mithya and water is Satyam. And wave's existence depends on water. And so even the Upadhi's existence depends on Atma only. So Upadhi is not a separate thing that is trying to make this Atma dirty. Apparently, just apparent. Like an apparent color. The paperweight has taken on a color apparently. Not really. Really, it cannot take on any color. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So, something to think about. Something to think about further.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, Venkateshanji, go ahead.
The Upadhi of different beings, let us say a cow or something, are different. And also for a stone, or when we are in deep sleep, there is no Upadhi. So in that case, the Atma is in its pure form in us. Number two, what about Upadhi of a stone which does not identify its body? So there also the it is in the purest form. Atma is in purest form. Then number three, you said about Dakshinamurti. It has Nirguna as well as it is Saguna for its qualities. Aiswaryam, Viryam and so many other things. What is the Upadhi for these qualities? How Nirguna Brahma got this Upadhi from where?
Yeah, the second question we will cover in the next class. He's going to talk about that. So, see, in deep sleep, Atma is pure. When I'm awake, Atma became impure. if you think like this, then that is wrong thinking. Okay. Back to the previous discussion, Atma cannot become impure because there is no second thing to make Atma dirty. Correct? If there is a second thing, we can talk about purification and how it became dirty, how to remove, what are the impurities. Let's remove the impurities. Reverse osmosis, all this we can talk about. Correct? Reverse osmosis is possible because there are some salts and then there is pure water, and we want pure water, and somehow we should remove all these impurities. But that process doesn't apply here to us. The only difference in deep sleep, the upadhi doesn't influence me. In deep sleep, my upadhi, this body, mind, senses, whatever I call as myself, doesn't influence me in the deep sleep. Doesn't it? I'm not available to make a conclusion about myself. So you can say upadhi is not there. I don't know if that is a correct statement. I need to check. Upadhi is there, continues to be there. Upadhi doesn't go away. But I am aware of the upadhi. I am aware of my body in waking state. In deep sleep state, I am not aware of the body. So upadhi continues to be there. So it is not correct to say the upadhi is gone. It is not correct to say Atma is pure in deep sleep and impure in waking state. It's not correct. So the model, the way we are thinking is entirely different. Nothing happens to Atma. So deep sleep is like there is a paperweight and I take the flower away. Because the class is over, everything is over, night time, and the flower is taken out. I'll wait for tomorrow to pluck another flower and put it next to the paperweight. So flower gone away from paperweight, deep sleep. Flower came back in the morning, waking state. Correct?
So it continues to manifest. The Atma continues to manifest in the Jiva. Correct.
Continues to manifest.
Okay. What about stone? It doesn't identify with itself.
Correct.
Okay.
The stone upadhi does not have the capacity to manifest or reflect chit. Therefore, chidabhasa is not there in the stone. And that is because Sukshma Shariram is not there in the stone. Therefore, we call it inert, insentient, etc. It just continues to remain. Continues to remain like this body would remain if life was not there. Correct? If life was not there, they say these bones, they look at this, archaeology, what do? They look for bones and they look for remains, and it remains because nothing happening in these bones. So the bone is nothing but the stone or equivalent to the stone. So no Sukshma Shariram, no Chidabhasa, nothing.
A conscious being is required to reveal the stone. Otherwise, it is a stone. When we look at the stone, it gets revealed.
To us.
Correct.
Okay. Correct.
So then this Dakshinamurti, okay, next class. Okay. Dakshinamurti thing.
I mean, if you have a question, go ahead and ask before we move
now,
on.
What about the Upadhi for Dakshinamurti to manifest its qualities?
Good. So what is the Upadhi for Dakshinamurti? Next class. Yeah, correct. I think that's why I think you mentioned. I thought you said, okay, I'll ask another question in the next class or something like that.
No. Same thing.
Okay. Good. Him, go ahead.
Yeah. So if we consider the if we work with the perspective of the mind being different from Jagat, can we say that the mind is the upadhi for the Jagat? Because after all, the mind projects all forms onto the world.
Yeah, very good observation. So the Haim's question is like this. I say there is a world out there. And my view my view of the world is whatever my mind tells me the world is. Any part of the world I don't know doesn't exist to me. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't exist. Therefore, I'm not looking at the world objectively as it should be looked at. I look at the world only through my own eyes and my mind. Therefore, him is saying, my mind is projecting this world. And can the mind be looked upon as an upadhi for the world? Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can. You can say the mind is the upadhi for the world. And it's an interesting point. I never thought like this. And Shastram also doesn't say this at all. But for the purpose of understanding upadhi, I suppose you can say that. The quality. So just there are some limitations to that. But to the extent that the mind projects the world, the mind is upadhi for the world. Correct.
Okay.
To the extent the world is what it is, that is not the upadhi, and the mind is not the upadhi of that aspect of the world.
Yeah. Basically, our ideas of the world are being projected onto something which is not how it is. Yeah.
Correct.
So that is the medium of for upadhi. Through mind only, the upadhi gets manifested. The Iswara gets manifested onto the jiva. So the mind is the medium.
So we'll discuss a little more about upadhi next class.
But without the mind, if the mind is, upadhis can be taken away. But in this case, if the mind is taken away, world ceases to exist, right? The world cannot exist.
Sajeev, your voice, the volume is a little less. I can hear you, but the volume is less.
So what I was trying to say is, upadhi is something that we can, for example, the example you were giving where the weight, paper weight, and the flower near it. Upadhi can be taken away, and the paper weight still exists in its original form. But in the example Haim was suggesting, mind being the upadhi for the world. If the mind is taken away, the world ceases to exist. The world cannot exist on its own. Like without the mind, there is no world. So can that be a corollary, or can it be a similar? I was just wondering, if it can be parallelly thought about, or is it like because without mind, like when I'm sleeping, if mind is not active, I don't have a world for me to transact with. So when we do that comparison, I don't know if mind can be called an upadhi. I just a thought.
Yeah. So there, what you have to do is you have to look at the world as it exists, independent of me. And the world doesn't disappear when I go to sleep. The world continues to exist for other people to transact. So then there is the objective world, the unlabeled world, the uninterpreted world is there. Okay? And so that is the world without any upadhi. Is the way you can look at it. Okay. Good. So we will continue this discussion.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the essence of Gayatri Mantra.
What is the essence of Gayatri Mantra?
Oh, the manifestation in me through the medium of Gayatri comes in me and activates my mind. Oh, give me the power, give me the effulgence. I share the effulgence of you. Through that, the Gayatri Mantra meaning goes.
Yeah, so we are talking Upadhi, and so Gayatri Mantra is also profound. We'll talk about it some other
They
time.
say it is also a medium.
Yeah, so Gayatri Mantra is a mantra which is interpreted in two ways. One is a prayer to Gayatri to inspire our intellects, to make our intellects do what it has to do, and to make the right decisions at the right times, etc., etc. Then there is the interpretation of Mahavakya also within the Gayatri Mantra. Beautiful interpretation that Shankaracharya gives. So we will look at it another time. Okay.
Okay.
So we will stop with this. Hari Om.
Hari